Good morning. Something has come to me to talk about that just happened not too long ago. First, I wanted to recap on the last video and say that things went well with my husband dropping me off at work. I feel like now what has come of this situation is that, for me at least, when I am giving my car to him to use and I need to be somewhere, I'm realizing how important it is for me to have clear boundaries of when and where I need to be somewhere. And sometimes I need to be the one to remind him, hey, we got to go in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, and not say, oh, well, if it was important to him, he would just know. Because that's what I'm getting is that's not really what works, because clearly what's important to me is not going to be as important to him, and it doesn't have to be. So what I got from this is that clear communication is the best, and reminders never hurt. What I wanted to talk about was when you receive contact from someone, which I'm assuming is going to be over a phone, over a cell phone, whether a text or call, and you see that name pop up, and you just become overridden with anxiety. Has that ever happened to you? It could be someone close to you, it could be a boss, a friend, a parent, sibling, whoever. Because that happened to me, where someone close to my life who I am distanced from now, from my own choosing, message, and as soon as I saw the name, my chest tightened and I felt, oh, I just want to crawl in a hole and not deal with this. And so quickly I got that, okay, this is something I'm being triggered by. What is it? So I stopped what I was doing and I had a dialogue with my inner child. I'm not sure if you're aware of belief system clearing, where you go back to a time where you felt a certain or learned a certain belief and felt a certain way, and that belief has been carried with you along your life up until now and keeps replaying through the people in your present day life, because those beliefs and that energy is still in you. It's never been cleared out. So I often have these conversations, this inner dialogue with my inner child, that little girl in me who was at that age when that incident happened and was terrified, angry, whatever the emotion is, and sit with her and let her talk to me about it, and then I am that loving parent to her. If you've never done this before, it can sound a little weird. I know when I first did it, I was like, this is ridiculous. This is not gonna work. And trust me, over time, when you can learn to trust and let go, and you will actually hear things and see things in your mind's eye of where this came from, or what your inner child is trying to tell you. And for me, that moment my chest tightened and I froze when I saw the name on my phone. I knew there's something that she's afraid about. And when I was having the dialogue, I started crying. Because my inner child felt heard and felt that her emotions and what she felt mattered. Because often when I was young, they were overlooked and overridden so that I could make others happy. You know, go hug that person, or go with that person, or do this. When I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't know that person. I have this bad feeling in me, but that constantly got overridden to be the good girl, to make my family look good or my parents proud. And so all my life up until now, I've learned to just push my feelings and my red flags and instincts and warnings down and just do it so that person can feel okay and not uncomfortable. And another huge piece about this is I'm a very big empath. I will take on other people's feelings like that. And up until now, I didn't know what was mine and what was someone else's. So if somebody else felt uncomfortable in a situation, it was twofold for me, because I would then take on their uncomfortable feeling and think it was mine and be like, okay, so to fix this, I'll just do whatever you want so I don't feel bad anymore. And man, did that lead me to a lot of situations that I didn't want to be in and was confused about. And then I would be upset and resentful and angry that I was being taken advantage of, or my boundaries weren't listened to, but I didn't even have any boundaries. until now. And now I'm realizing that when I say no, I still get that feeling bubble up in me of, oh, you know, you don't want to hurt their feelings, just do it, it's not a big deal. Because those are the voices going on when I was young that was told to me by people who were my caregivers. So now what happens is I will still get that feeling. If it's something that I want to say no to, it pops up still where I go, oh, they're going to feel upset. So again, I sit with my inner child and reassure her that whatever you're feeling is 100% valid. You're not being too much, too dramatic, too anything. Everything you're feeling is there for a reason. It's basic human or animal instinct. And if you were an animal in the wild and you didn't listen to that instinct, you would get killed. So here I am learning that anytime I don't want to do something, even if it seems minor, even if somebody else is like, whoa, why is that a big deal? Just do it. I am learning to listen to myself and honor my feelings because I need those baby steps to learn that trust. Because I never had that growing up. So now I'm almost gone the other way where I don't want to do anything the moment I feel a tad bit uncomfortable, which is very good. And I'm going to learn, I know I'm going to learn to be able to tell the difference between being uncomfortable and a warning sign, or if I'm just, you know, brushing everyone off, which I guess is kind of the same thing. But it's up to me whether I want to say no for any which reason, which doesn't make sense to anyone else. I'm going to do it. And the feelings that can come up are guilt, shame. This is a whole long time of having people tell me the way to be a good girl, to be pleasing to these others, to look good, so that, for what? I don't know, so that I could just appear to be something I'm not, appear to be this person who just gives herself away and loses pieces of herself in order to try to make someone else feel better, when that has never been my responsibility. It's never your responsibility to cheer anybody else up or make someone not feel uncomfortable. It's their responsibility, just as it's mine to make myself feel good and nobody else. So that was a big win again for me today, where something happened and I felt a certain way, and I immediately stopped and honored that feeling. And I didn't say, whoa, you shouldn't feel like that. I honored where that feeling came from, and I allowed that inner child in me to speak and say, this is how I feel when this happens. Those warning signs are there for a reason. And when we can learn to listen to them and trust them all the time, then we will feel safer and safer. And then we will know automatically and just be able to say, no, I'm not doing that, without even a little blip of, oh, how are they going to feel about it? And it is a lot easier said than done, especially if this person that you're doing it to is someone very close to you or someone who has been around since you were born. And depending on your culture and how you were raised, like for me, a lot of guilt went into stuff. A lot of guilt. I was guilted into doing a lot of things. And it is so nice now to say that you are able to break out of it. I have been able to break out of it. It is just something that requires a lot of work and attention and compassion for yourself and love. And to know that when you do go back, because you will, when you do go back to those people-pleasing tendencies, that's okay. That's okay. You're not going to be perfect at it. You might go back for the rest of your life every now and again, and that's okay. The main part is that you're moving forward and that you're aware when you're doing it. And know this, that those uncomfortable feelings do lessen. The first time I had to have a boundary with someone close to me, it was the most terrifying thing. I just literally did crawl into a hole and want to hide because I just felt horrible. But that small part of me felt so proud, and yes, this is what we need. And then I just kept building off of that. And now it's getting much, much easier for me to say no to people. I just know that the people very close to me, it's going to take a little more time. So that is my little bout of wisdom for today that I've discovered about myself and wanted to share. That I am a recovering people pleaser. Thank you for listening.